You don't choose to be gay. It's not like picking a major in college. It's more like waking up one day and realizing your operating system is different, and the world keeps trying to uninstall it. Being gay means existing in a constant state of translation. You have to explain your life, your choices, your love, your wardrobe, your haircut, your pronouns, your everything, over and over again. You go on a date, someone says, "So, who's the guy in the relationship?" And you resist the urge to respond with, "Both of us, Brenda. That's kind of the point." You walk into a room and immediately scan for danger. Not in the spy thriller way, more like, "Who here might ruin my night for fun?" Every interaction becomes a balancing act between being authentic and being safe. You shrink, adjust, filter, because some people treat your honesty like an attack. You hear slurs before you even understand what they mean. On the playground, on the school bus, in movies your parents thought were PG. You learn early that gay is a punchline, an insult, a warning. And before you ever come out, you internalize that maybe being gay means being wrong, or broken, or disposable. Coming out isn't a reveal, it's a risk assessment. You rehearse it like a speech, calculate the fallout like a stockbroker. You prep for disappointment like it's a sport. Sometimes people surprise you with warmth. Other times, they turn cold, like you just confessed to murder. Either way, you lose the privilege of privacy. Even when someone accepts you, it comes with conditions. Just don't shove it in my face. As if straight people aren't launching gender reveal fireworks and tongue kissing on every park bench in America. But sure, your Instagram post with your partner is somehow too much. You get told it's just a phase by people who still think mustard is spicy. You're accused of doing it for attention, as if homophobia is a magnet for popularity. You start doubting yourself. You become the world's youngest method actor, performing straightness with the enthusiasm of a DMV employee. You fake it, badly, but long enough to lose yourself in the process. Dating is a circus with no ringmaster and too many clowns. You navigate a minefield of internalized shame, secret relationships, and people who only want you when nobody's watching. Apps are full of torsos and red flags. You get ghosted, fetishized, lied to. You develop trust issues so elaborate they deserve their own memoir. Straight people treat your dating life like it's public property. They ask invasive questions and laugh at your stories like you're a novelty. And then say, "Love is love," like it erases all the shit you just described. They act like you're living some glamorized Netflix life while you're just trying to survive Tuesday. Public affection turns into a strategy session. Can you hold hands here? Will someone follow you? Shout something? Throw something? You're in love, but you're also on edge, always. Straight couples walk freely. You calculate exits. Bathrooms become anxiety traps. Locker rooms are war zones. You pretend you don't notice how people look at you. You try not to exist too loudly, because being comfortable makes others uncomfortable, and their comfort always matters more. Family gatherings, Russian roulette with side dishes. Someone misgenders your partner. Someone else brings up the Bible. And your mom silently begs you not to cause a scene while your uncle casually asks if you've tried dating the opposite sex. You smile, you chew, you swallow the food and the rage. Religion, a battlefield wrapped in hymnals. Even if you've made peace with your beliefs, someone else hasn't. They quote verses at you like spells, try to save you from yourself, and tell you God loves the sinner, not the sin. Like it's a compliment. They weaponize faith and call it love. You sit through sermons that slice you open with smiles. Workplace politics become another game of code switching. Do you come out to your coworkers, your boss, HR? You weigh job security against honesty. You laugh at jokes that punch down, correct pronouns gently, and become the unofficial ambassador for everything queer. Because straight people will say, "We're inclusive," while still inviting your homophobic cousin to give the keynote. Traveling feels like survival cosplay. You research laws like you're prepping for a heist. You memorize customs, avoid flags, and rehearse straight personas, in case someone asks too many questions. You don't take couple selfies. You take security measures. You don't pack light. You pack caution. Even in supposedly safe spaces, you get side-eyed for being too loud, too visible, too much. You're accused of pushing an agenda by simply existing. People tell you they don't see labels right after mislabeling you completely. You get erased with a smile and called equal in a system built on inequality. Mental health care? A gamble. You explain your identity like a case study, hope your therapist doesn't flinch, or worse, try to fix you. You want help, but end up educating. You cry about trauma and they ask about your childhood like queerness is a wound. You realize you're paying someone to misunderstand you politely. Even joy becomes a target. You dance at a pride event and someone calls it a protest. You kiss your partner and someone calls it propaganda. You wear rainbow socks and someone says you're shoving it down their throat. Meanwhile, every corporate ad features straight couples and nobody cries oppression. You live in a world where your existence is a debate, your rights are up for votes, your identity is a trending topic. Politicians use you as campaign fuel, and bigots use your life as a warning sign. You become both symbol and scapegoat, and you're tired. So fucking tired. You try to build community, but even that isn't simple. Racism, transphobia, classism, it all shows up. Because being queer doesn't erase other identities. You navigate hierarchies inside your own so called safe zones. You find pockets of love and still bump into walls. People romanticize your struggle. They call you brave like it's a consolation prize. They post rainbow filters once a year and call it activism. They think pride is a parade, not a protest with glitter. They don't see the late nights, the panic, the exhaustion of constantly defending your right to breathe. And yet, you're still told to be grateful. It's better now, they say, as if crumbs of tolerance are a feast, as if not getting beat up counts as progress, as if legalized marriage means equality, as if visibility equals safety. You nod. Because fighting every battle is exhausting, and sometimes it's easier to pretend the war is over. You don't get to be neutral. You're politicized by default. Your love is radical. Your silence is permission. Your truth is too much or not enough, depending on who's watching. You can't win. You can only persist. And still, somehow, you do. But this is why it sucks to be gay. Not because of who you are, but because of what the world does with it. How it twists it, distorts it, punishes it. How it demands explanations, then rejects the answers. How it steals your peace, then sells it back to you in rainbow themed merch. Being gay should be a fact, a detail, a part of you, like your laugh or your handwriting. But the world turns it into a spectacle, a threat, a moral flaw, and then gaslights you for reacting. You wake up gay, live gay, sleep gay, and every moment, someone tries to make that harder than it needs to be. And you're not asking for a trophy, you're just asking to live. And well, that shouldn't be too much. But for some reason, that's the hardest part.